Once again from Moody Park, we welcome you to some ACBL playoff action. Second game of the Wolff Division semifinals. Two new teams, South Jersey Kings hosting the New Brunswick Matrix. Corey Williams, the right-hander on the mound, facing Mike Villani, the leadoff man for the Matrix, swinging at the first pitch and lifting a pop-up. Along the infield, Sestawicki at shortstop makes the catch. For out number one pitch, one out to begin this second game here from Moody Park of the Wolff Division semifinal. You saw Sestawicki at shortstop, the rest of the Kings defense. Jaros, Charvallo, Hartman left to right to the outfield. Quinn, Sestawicki, Stikowski, Tenesti third to first. And behind home plate, it's Owen Whalewander. Catching the right-hander, Corey Williams, making the start for the Kings, now facing Gianni Morano. Williams has been nothing short of exceptional for the Kings this season. That pitch nearly getting a piece of Morano, and it is 1-1. The big righty, rising sophomore at Millersville. 2-0 in 6 games, 4 starts for the right-hander. Now 1-2. 21 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 walks, 30 strikeouts, just 4 runs, a 1.71 ERA for the 6'4", 240-pound right-hander. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Whalewander can't find it initially. Fires down to first in time to complete the out. So the strikeout of Morano and 2 quickly retired here in the top of the first. Brings up Zampella. The South Jersey Kings team winning the Wolff Division on the final day of regular season action, as we mentioned in the Generals broadcast. 22-10, 76 points. Best team not only in the Wolff Division, but in the entire ACBL. Hosting this Matrix team. Zampella takes a called strike 1, who finished the regular 16-11, 59 points, 4th in the Wolff Division, the 1 seed hosting the 4 seed. 0-1 on Zampella. Half-hearted swing, and it's 0-2. Zampella, one of the better Kings hitters this season at .299, 2 homers, 14 RBIs, rising sophomore in East Stroudsburg. 0-2, 2 away. Williams delivers. Fouled away. Again, if you were not tuned in for the previous game, it was the Generals topping the Metros 4-1 in the first semifinal game. They will be playing the winner of this game tomorrow night, the 0-2. Regardless of who wins tonight, that game will be here at Moody Park. If the Kings win tonight against the Matrix, they will host the Generals. If the Matrix win, the Generals will host the Matrix. Another 0-2 pitch coming here from Corey Williams with 2 away. Line shot into right center field. That's going to get down and split the outfielders. Zampella rounding first, heading for 2, and he's there standing with the 2-out double. And things had been free and easy for Corey Williams, even at 2 strikes on Zampella, but good hitting from one of the Matrix better hitters. Keeps the inning alive for Luke Bakunis. You can play catcher and first base, starting at the ladder, 291. Just 1 extra base hit, a double, 8 RBIs. Rising sophomore at Rowan University. Trying to get the Matrix on the board first here in the top of the first. Facing Williams, who's, as we said, been the Kings' best pitcher this season, one of the best in the league, the 1.71 ERA. Not a surprise to see him starting tonight. Well, a little surprising if you look at what the Generals did, a little different from what the Kings have done. This will be an 0-1 pitch to Bakunis. Nice looking pitch, and it's 0-2. Kings have had their fair share of success against the Matrix in the regular season. Again, the top seed in the Wolff Division after sweeping the Generals this past Saturday to win the division. 0-2, 2 away. Runner leading off a second. Here's the pitch from Williams. Breaking pitch, caught on and missed. Strike 3. So after the double nothing doing, Bakunis strikes out in a strong first inning of work for Corey Williams. His team coming to bat in the bottom half of the first after a scoreless top half. Kings turn to bat here in the bottom half of the first. Eric Hartman leads things off for them, facing Christian Kraus, the right-hander, getting the start for the Matrix in this Wolff Division semifinal. Corey Miller back here with you as Hartman takes a call at strike one. Kraus, one of the talented pitchers on this Matrix squad, and into his sophomore year at University of Hartford. Freshman season, correction. This summer he's 0-2, 6 games, 3 starts, but 23 1/3 innings pitched, 16 hits, 17 walks, 35 strikeouts, 8 earned runs, a 3.08 ERA. Again, the 6'3", 210-pound right-hander getting the start for the Matrix. Facing Eric Hartman, the Kings' hottest hitter, and now leadoff man these past few weeks. The hot stretch to end the season brought the Riders sophomore up to 438 on the summer. 3 homers, 17 RBIs. Elevated to the leadoff spot as of late, and it's paid dividends. A great weekend against the Generals this past Saturday. 1-2 to him. Outside, 2-2. Charvallo waits on deck, then Ryan Jarros, Zane Teneski, Aiden Quinn, Justin Sestowicki, Owen Wilwander, Connor Sikowski, and Connor Wood. The starting 9 for the Kings here tonight. The 2-2 now. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good start for Christian Kraus, taking care of Eric Hartman. There's one down here in the bottom of the first.
Number 4, center fielder, Mike Charavallo.
Brings in Mike Charavallo, ACBL most valuable player. A guy who had just a truly remarkable regular season. First pitch to him, big swing and a miss. In 27 games, he had 39 hits, 33 runs, 10 doubles, 5 triples, 5 homers, 26 RBIs, a .419 average, stole 20 bags. Led the Generals in all of those categories. Every single one of them. Wait till an 0-1. More impressively, he led the league in average runs, hits, doubles, triples, RBIs. Only 1 stolen base behind the league leader and only 1 home run away from the league leader. Behind the count 0-2. Stays alive. And if he had one more home run, would have given himself a triple crown. As he led the league in average and RBIs. Just 1 homer shy of that triple crown, but still truly remarkable season for a guy that means a lot to this Kings team. Another 0-2 to him. Just misses. It's 1-2. This Matrix squad and Christian Kraus has their work cut out for them tonight against what's probably the best lineup in the league, and really showed it as part of that terrific finish for the Kings. That 1-2 pitch is hit hard to the left side. Going to be a tough play. Zampella, the backhand. Long throw to first is not in time. What a play he made to get that throw off. Made it a close play at first. Charvallo just runs too well now. Again, just like the Generals Metros game, we have 2 field umpires for this playoff contest. And now you can have to contend with the speed of Charvallo on first and the guy at the plate in Ryan Jarros. These first 4 hitters, a fixture for the Kings. As Charvallo stays put, Jarros Faust tips it into the glove of Piotrowski. Jarros, a terrific summer in his own right, among the league leaders in average at .386, finished second. Charvallo starts then stops as that's served into right field. Amon moves back and he can't make the catch. Charvallo up to second. He had to go back to first as Amon just dropped that ball. He had gotten there in plenty of time. As we look at the rest of the Matrix defense, Carrera, Morano, Amon left to right, Nitti, Zampella, Villani, Bakunis third to first, and Piotrowski does the catching. But it's worth noting that 2 of the Matrix outfielders, including Amon, are typically pitchers for them. Amon in right as a check swing. Ball gets away from Piotrowski. Both runners advance into scoring position. What could have been a runner on first with 2 away. Now runners on second and third, 1 away for Teneski. But Carrera and Amon, The left and right fielders are typically pitchers for this Matrix squad, but due to depth issues or what have you, they're getting a start in the outfield tonight, and it's already come back to bite them once here. An error on Amon in right after he'd gotten to that fly ball by Jaros, but just simply dropped it. And now the Kings doing what they are really good at, scoring runs in the first inning, threatening here. It's 1-1 pitch to Teneski. The Kings cleanup man virtually the whole summer. Finished the regular year at 282. 24 hits and 85 at-bats, 3 doubles, popped 2 homers, drove in 20, and led the team with 26 free passes. Early RBI situation for him here. 2-1. Laced. Great play by Nitty. He's going to go all the way across to first, where the out is retired, as coming across to score is Charvalho. Great play by Nitty. It looked like that ball was going to make it through into left field and score at least one. Good play keeps Jaros only from getting to third, but the Kings strike first. It's 1-0, as now it's Aiden Quinn up at the plate. Getting the start at third base. Quinn at 298 was up above 300 in most of the 17 games he played. 14 hits, 8 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, 9 RBIs for the Kings third baseman tonight. 0-1 to him. Gets under it. High pop-up. Drifting towards foul territory. Long run for everyone. Sliding attempt by Carrera, and he makes the catch. What a play by Carrera to run all the way out from his spot and left into foul territory. So one Matrix pitcher in right makes an error. The other makes a great sliding catch to end the inning. When all's said and done, though, the Kings strike first. Thanks to a hit and an error, they take a 1-0 lead through 1 inning of play. So after the Kings strike for 1 in the bottom of the first, Jordan Nitty leads things off for the Matrix against Corey Williams, who fires in a called strike 1. Nitty at third, hit .262 in the regular season, rising sophomore at Stockton University. A homer and 7 RBIs, 7 walks, 12 strikeouts for him. Kings trying to get Corey Williams as many runs as they can, but he has been so terrific, probably not going to need many. Again, this Matrix squad entered the playoffs 4-6 in their last 10 games. They did lose 2 straight at the end of the regular season. They last played last Thursday, lost 2-1 as part of a 2-game sweep and a doubleheader to the Trenton Generals. Team part of kind of some end-of-season controversy, as it's Nitty waiting on 2-2. Bouncer to third. Quinn fires across in time. Nice play by the Kings third baseman, 1 away, as Piotrowski steps up to the plate.
Number 26,
But the Matrix at the end of the regular season had a 2-game series Tuesday, Thursday games against the Osprey last week. Or sorry, this past Saturday, that is, which they blew off. They decided not to play. They were sitting in that last playoff spot in 4th place. But decided not to play that game against the Osprey. Not forced to play by the league, so those games just kind of vacated. No one declared a winner or a loser. But there was a scenario this past weekend where the Phenoms, just in terms of points, could have made the playoffs as that 4th team. Despite the fact that the Phenoms finished with the losing record, they played a lot more games than the Matrix. Matrix only played 27, 5 less than the Kings at 32. That's why they had fewer points. But the Matrix not being forced to play those regular season games, making the playoffs. Maybe catching a break. As again, there was a scenario where if the Phenoms won their games and maybe the Osprey got the better of the Matrix, where the two teams would have switched spots and be the Phenoms here. An unlikely scenario, but still a scenario nonetheless. 2-2 now to Piotrowski. Full count. Polson waits on deck. Piotrowski, the catcher, here tonight, hitting just .128 on the summer. 2 homers, 10 RBIs. Returner from last summer. Full count pitch from Williams. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by him. 2 down here in the top of the 2nd.
Number 28, C.H. Ryan Polson.
So the bottom part of this Matrix order is occupied by 3 straight guys, 7, 8, 9, who are pitchers by trade rather than hitters. And one of them right now is Ryan Polson. We saw Amon and Correa in the field. Polson as the DH won't be seen in the field, but is still getting reps as a hitter. A guy who struggled on the mound this summer, but Matrix turning to some of their pitchers with the bat due to depth issues, injuries, but regardless, that's who they're throwing out there in this playoff game. Team that's relied on their pitching for a lot of the summer. 0-2 with 2 away. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts from Corey Williams in inning number 2 as part of a 3-up, 3-down inning. Looked strong so far. 1-0 Kings here in the Wolff Division semifinal. Justin Sestowicki steps into the box for the bottom half of the 2nd. Christian Kraus back to work after allowing a run unearned after the air in the bottom of the 1st. Sestowicki will under Stikowski. 6, 7, 8 in the Kings order, beginning with their shortstop, who finished the regular season at .224. 2 homers, 17 RBIs, 15 walks, 26 strikeouts. Transferring from UNC to Elon, where he'll be making the transition from a pitcher to a position player. 2-0 to him. He connects on that one, high and deep to left field. Correa back, and he will make the catch. A tough play, twisting and turning. Correa, as a pitcher, making the adjustment to the outfield, has looked pretty good so far. Made that sliding catch to end the bottom of the first. And just a few steps shy of the wall, makes a nice play there. Sestawicki gave that a ride, but one away now in the bottom of the second. Here's the catcher, Whalewander, getting the start behind the plate. Interesting situation. One of the first times this season the Kings have hit 2 of their catchers in the same game. Wood, the DH, hits 9th. He's actually been their best hitter this season. Whalewander has struggled. At just 174, finished the regular season last on the Kings in average. 4 doubles, 7 RBIs for the rising sophomore at Lehigh, who had a good spring for them. Moved into the lineup for the Mountain Hawks due to some injuries. Waits on a 1-1. They're hoping, though, as the stats are raised from the regular season, they move to the postseason, that Whalewander can get things going. Some pop in that 7th spot in the order. 2-1. No, 3-1. To make it 2-2, that one catching the outside corner. After the Sestawicki flyout. Whalewander, did he go around? He did not. And it's full count with Stokowski waiting on deck. Whalewander trying to get on base with 1 away here in the second. Gets under 1, pops it foul out of play. This Kings team, terrific finish to the regular season. Started off 1-8, last in the Wolff division. Then went on an absolute tear, 21-2 down the stretch. So he said swept the Generals in the doubleheader on Saturday to take the Wolff division. But just a truly remarkable story that a team that was just, you want to say, lost to begin the season at 1-8 was able to play that well. 21-2 again. Their last 23 games, 21-2. What a story for them to win the Wolff division, but now trying to carry that over into a playoff run. Another full count pitch on the way to Owen Whalewander. In there for a called strike 3. Whalewander down looking. It brings up Stokowski now with no one on and 2 away. Rising sophomore at Rowan had a productive regular season. Hit .275, a triple, 11 RBIs, 11 walks, 16 strikeouts. It was interesting to see who would get the start at third and second base tonight for the Kings. No Marco Menino in the lineup tonight for South Jersey. No Andrew Fernandez either. A few different options the Kings could have turned to. So Jarris in left field, and then Quinn at third base since there's no Menino in the starting lineup. 0-1 to Stokowski. As we said, did do very well. And the fact that the Kings were able to do as well as they did, part of it's the addition of Aiden Quinn, but they lost a key guy in Reed Lapicus with the season-ending shoulder injury back in June. Was hitting .381, their leadoff guy, and have done really well replacing him even without his production. He'd make this lineup even more dangerous, but it's even just tough to think how he would fit into this lineup, since everyone else at second and third base has been swinging a hot bat. It's 2-1 on Connor Stokowski. Christian Krause, after giving up an unearned run in the first inning, set down the first 2 Kings hitters here in the second, but now falls behind 3-1 to Stokowski. Connor Wood waits on deck. Krause pitched to a 13.20 ERA, his senior year of high school, and right here walks Stokowski on 5 pitches to give the Kings a 2-out base runner. So now the ninth hitter, DH in the order for the Kings, steps up to the plate in Connor Wood. And rare to see two catchers in for the Kings. We've seen the Generals do that. They have three talented catchers. The Kings believe that they do too, but position has not been swinging the bat offensively this summer. Flying ball into right for Connor Wood. Another chance for Amon. This time he puts the glove on it to bring an end to inning number 2. Solid inning of work for Kraus. Limits the damage to just one base runner. Nothing else doing for the Kings. We played 2 innings here in the Wolff Division semifinal. Kings 1-0 over the Matrix thus far. Ben Amon begins the top of the third for the Matrix, down by 1. As we said, one of 3 pitchers appearing as hitters here in this second game of the Wolff Division semifinal for the Matrix. Williams had no difficulties retiring Polson on 3 pitches to end the second. Amon, then Correa, then the top of the Matrix order. Thought he had Amon on 3 pitches, but now it's 1-2. Doesn't get the call there either. It's 2-2. And that is the thing with this Matrix squad. It's going to rely on the pitching to limit the Kings, which is going to be a lot easier said than done. But this Matrix offense, not great swinging the bat. Not a terrible team, as it's gone from 0-2 to 3-2 on Amon. But among the 4 playoff teams in the Wolff Division, Matrix have the lowest average, but second best ERA behind the Generals. The 3-2 now. That time, though, he punches Amon out looking, so it took him a few extra pitches, but Williams sets him down for the first out here in the third.
Number 25, left fielder, Joe Correa.
So here's Joe Correa, rising junior at the University of Connecticut. Again, that's been as a pitcher, a guy who they could be possibly saving for a game tomorrow night should they emerge victorious here against the Kings, and that's because he has a 1.50 ERA this summer. 1-1 in 4 games, 2 starts, 18 innings pitched, 12 hits, 3 earned runs, 11 walks, 25 strikeouts. That's as a pitcher. Here, though, has to appear as a batter. And if they plan to use him in the playoffs, which you would assume they do, you just want to pray that he doesn't injure himself in the fielder at the plate tonight. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tip, that is. Carrera just getting a piece of it. Gray appeared in 7 games out of the bullpen for the Huskies in his first season of work for them, his sophomore campaign. Another 0-2 pitch and a wave and a miss. All these pitchers hitting in the lineup for the Matrix have gone down via the K. Now back to the top of the order, and Mike Villani, who popped out to begin the game. Now 6 total strikeouts for Corey Williams through the first 9 hitters he's seen. And it's just been terrific for the Kings, whose pitching hasn't been quite as good as the offense, but down the stretch, it was really, really good. It's hard to match this offensive production from the Kings, but they feel like they're in a much better spot than they were kind of in the middle of the season where the offense was good, but the pitching struggled, but have the talent on the mound now to maybe go toe-to-toe with the Generals, who emerged victorious, as we said in Game 1. Quickly 3-0 on Villani, though. Morano waits on deck. Looking to get on base with 2 outs. Villani takes a called strike 1. You have to remember that this Kings team's only in their 4th season in the ACBL, formerly the Trenton Capitals. Playoff appearance last summer, but exited in the first round. A weak tapper to shortstop. Quinn will cut it off, trying to make the play at first. The throw there is in time to get him. Aiden Quinn flashing the leather. Great play. Gloving it on the run, firing a cannon across to first to nab Villani and end the top of the 3rd. Williams strong through 3 innings. His team sits on top, 1-0, moving ahead to the last of the 3rd. Back to the top of the Kings order, and Eric Hartman getting the bottom half of the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 1st. First time through the Kings lineup, only yielded 1 run, which isn't bad through just 2 innings, but a lot of times you're used to more from this dangerous Kings lineup. You're just looking at the Metros, Generals, even the Matrix. A lot of those lineups top heavy, at least the way they're swinging it right now. The Kings, not the case. 1 through 9, you have a threat. Hartman lifts a pop-up. Middle of the infield, Zampella makes the catch for out number 1. Brings up Charavallo, who reached on an infield single and scored the only run of the game to this point.
Number 4, center fielder Mike Charavallo.
And the league's most valuable player after a truly remarkable campaign. Just his crazy talent. The fact that he's been able to keep up the pace he has all around. Doing well in so many different categories. I mean, and his playoff impact can't go understated. If he maintains his hot hitting, the Kings definitely more likely to go further in the playoffs. Here he puts a charge into one into right field, but Amon is right there to make the catch. So 2 outs to begin the bottom of the 3rd, brings up Brian Jaros. As we said, the Matrix have done well, or the Kings that is have done well against the Matrix. Won 3 out of 4 against them in the most recent series they played. But Matrix, as we told you, carries some strong pitching. So good test for their lineup. Jaros reached on that error by Amon back in the 3rd. Has been a fixture at the 3 spot ever since he really got going towards the end of June. Just like Charvallo, he can be a really potent postseason bat at that 3 spot in the order with the power and RBI abilities he has. Hitters count 2-0 on him. Grooves one down the first base line out of play. And it almost seems like with Jaros that his terrific summer almost in a way got overlooked because of how well the guy in front of him, Mike Charvallo, produced at the plate. I mean, Jaros 3rd in the league in average. Just so important, the 3rd spot in the order for the Kings, but the guy ahead of him, when you're winning an MVP, it's easy to overlook the guy who has done almost quite as well, but just doesn't have as many eye-popping stats as Charvallo. Jaros in left field, we've said it many times, but more comfortable at 3rd base, where he's more accustomed to playing, but can play the left field position pretty well. And moving him to the outfield gives the Kings more options middle of the infield. Grounder to 3rd base. Nitty fires across in time to bring an end to inning number 3. So these two squads trading zeros the last 2 innings. The Kings still lead by 1 through 3 innings of play in this Wolff Division semifinal.
Number 13, Gianni Morano.
Gianni Morano, that is, leads off the top of the 4th. Williams has been spectacular for the Kings through 3 shutout innings. 1 double for Zampella, who waits on deck. That's the only base runner to reach for New Brunswick so far. And as we said, a team with a limited amount of arms, but strong ones, and Krause has kept them in the game, doing well against this dangerous Kings lineup, just 1 run. And that's what the Matrix hope to do, is keep their lineup in it, give them a chance to win. As Morano connects a line shot into center field, Charvallo hustling into the gap. He'll make the catch for out number 1. So now here is Zampella, who had that double into right center field his first at bat. The Matrix knew they had their work cut out for them coming into the game tonight. A team that's done well against them in the season during the regular year. But you know, it's really perhaps probably the best lineup in the league. A very deep lineup, 1 through 9. A team that's won 21 of their last 23 games. And oh, by the way, you also have their ace on the mound, who has been terrific, the 1.71 ERA entering the game today. Zampella, though, is 2 for 2, a base hit into left field. A bright spot of the Matrix lineup, and they have a 1-out base runner.
34.
Bakunis off of a strikeout in the first steps up to the plate. An interesting decision for the Kings, turning to Williams. Can't go wrong either way. But the Generals, the team that won their Wolff Division semifinal, first pitch to Bakunis is sent out of play. They elected to go with Liam O'Hearn, who was not their number one starter. Now, the Generals have more talented pitchers, I guess you could say, than the Kings, just based off of the numbers this summer. So they had a lot more options that they could turn to today in the game and still be successful than maybe the Kings do. But the Kings deciding to throw their ace here today in this game. Good pitch, 0-2 on Bakunis. The Generals saving their ace and Tristan Spalter for tomorrow night's game against whoever the winner of this Kings Matrix game is, and then saving another pitcher then for Saturday. Pickoff attempt to first base, and Pella just getting back safely. Williams kind of had him mid-step. He's picked a handful of guys off this summer. Not afraid to throw over there, as he's got an 0-2 count on Bakunis with one away here in the fourth. 1-0 Kings. Corey Miller here with you. Moody Park, Wolff Division semifinal. Winner moves on to the Wolff Division Championship tomorrow night. There goes the runner. A weak tapper right back to Williams. Only play is to first. Williams makes it. So Zampella advances, but now there's two away.
Number 6, third baseman Jordan Nitty.
Nitty grounded to third his last time up. So if you're the Kings, you have some other options for tomorrow's night's game, but you're not going to have your ace and Williams going up against the Generals' ace, should the Kings hold on to the win tonight. But they still have other good pitchers like Anthony Antoldi. So he said the pitching staff was really good down the stretch. Possibly Williams, I guess, could maybe throw on Saturday, should the Kings advance to the ACBL championship. And we said this during the Generals game, but the way the playoffs work is that basically the entire staff is on call to pitch should their teams need them to. Williams looking at Zampella and firing the ball. 2-0 on Nitty. So again, not a set pitching plan like it typically is for each game of the regular season, at least for the Generals and the Kings. But pretty much all the pitchers available for the Kings should they be needed, and then the coaches deciding who they want to turn to. Williams has been great trying to strand Zampella at second. 2-0 pitch to Nitty. Make it 2-1 as he fouls it straight back. Matrix trying to get a run here. Williams later in the season typically held around 4 innings pitched, 65 pitches, building up to the playoffs. We'll see how long he throws here tonight. 2-1 to Nitty. Another foul ball, and it's 2-2. No doubt could likely go more than that. Unless, of course, maybe they could save him for Saturday's game. But keep in mind, they got to win this one first, and it's close early on. Just 1-0 Kings here now in the top of the fourth with 2 away. It's a 2-2 pitch from Williams. Outside, count is full, and Piotrowski waiting on deck. You got to imagine that Williams is going to try and tack these matrix hitters as much as possible, given the fact that the lineup, especially the bottom half of it, has struggled. In fact, Zampella is really the only guy who's gotten good wood on the ball so far tonight. Leads off a second with 2 away. The full count pitch to Nitty. Misses low, ball 4, and another base runner is on for the Matrix with 2 away. So a good chance for Sean Piotrowski to get the Matrix on the board. Again, if it hadn't been for an error on Eamon, the pitcher in right field back in the first inning, this would likely be a tie game. Matrix have actually out-hit the Kings, who only have 1 hit, an infield single by Charvallo in the first. Speaking to the talent the Matrix have on the mound, that's been their bread and butter, their pitching staff. Piotrowski lifts a high fly ball, shallow center field. Charvello making his way towards the infield, makes the grab to bring an end to the top of the fourth. So the Matrix gets some base runners but can't bring them home. Another solid inning by Corey Williams. Still through 3.5. It is 1-0 Kings.
There were no errors and 2 left. After 3.5, the Kings won.
Same score as it was at the end of the first inning here in the Wolff Division semifinal. Top-seeded Kings hosting the 4-seeded Matrix. Winner moves on to face the Trenton Generals tomorrow night right here at Moody Park. Teneski had the RBI ground out in the first. Again, drove in the first and only run through 3.5 innings tonight. For this potent Kings lineup, a chopper down the third baseline. Tough play. Nitty scoops, fires to first in time. A tough hop made it look easy. Now the Matrix played some good defense with the exception of the aim and air. Nitty had a nice play on that RBI groundout by Teneski in the first to limit it to a groundout and not a hit. Another nice play, and there's one away in the bottom of the fourth now for Aiden Quinn. And this Kings lineup that is probably the league's best lineup just in terms of, you could probably say on paper, in terms of the amount of Division I guys and talented D2 and D3 guys you have, but the production of the lineup solidified its spot. Statistically, is the top lineup in the league. And you have the D1 guys. In some situations, 8 of the 9 players in the lineup are playing at the Division I level. As Quinn gets under one, high flying ball deep to right center field. Aiming back, looking up, and that one is gone. Aiden Quinn with a shot just to the left of the scoreboard in right center field. Only the second hit on the night for the Kings. Now their second run as they greet Quinn at the dugout. It's 2-0 South Jersey.
Number 14, shortstop Justin Sestowicki.
Good to see Aiden Quinn again. A later addition to this Kings squad this summer, but just fit in flawlessly. You never know that he's kind of a newer face. Not at this point, but originally just did really well as like a clubhouse guy for the Kings. The charisma really helping them during their winning streak. He's made some nice plays in the field tonight. 2-0 to Sestawicki. Now make it 2-1. As we said, that addition to Quinn, really another shot in the arm for the Kings as part of this 21 wins in 23 game stretch. 2-1 to Sestawicki. Sent one to the warning track in left field his last at-bat. As we said, Quinn, a Division I guy, will be at Lehigh in the fall. But everyone, including the D1 guys, has pretty much produced for South Jersey. No one on now. One away. 2-2 to Sestawicki. 2-0 Kings. Misses outside. Full count. South Jersey Kings team that after a 1-8 start really played to their talent, as they noted. Had the potential to be this good. 3-2 pitch in the dirt. Sestawicki works a walk. But they needed to come out and prove that they were one of the best teams. And if you look at the regular season, the best team in the league, and they did just that. The team really just came together after that 1-8 start, committed to winning. And that was something great to see. It's not easy to do after struggling out of the gate. Could have gotten down to themselves. Again, they were at the bottom of the league through 9 games. In about a 30-35 game season, it's tough to play the way they did, and they had to play as well as they did to win the division. And that's what they did. Before the game started, as Sestawicki starts and stops, Kings general manager and owner Mike Olshan told Aiden Quinn that he was going deep during the game tonight. And as Quinn touched home plate, pointed up to the press box where Olshan is with us. Good story there. And Kings and Quinn are glad that prediction came true, as it's given them a 2-0 lead. A deep shot to right center field, one of the deepest parts of this ballpark. There goes Sestawicki, and Will Wander fouls it off. Really no breaks in this Kings lineup. Will Wander struggled this summer, but still such a good hitter at the catcher's spot. Chance to right the ship here in the postseason. Chases that. Pitch comes up empty. Strikeout here. Now 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th.
Number 12, second baseman, Connor Stikowski.
So now here is Stikowski, and that's the other thing about this Kings lineup, is that it's so good that really every game there is an odd man out at either the second or third base spot. Whether it's Stikowski, Menino, Fernandez, even with the injury of Lapicus, the addition of Quinn meant that there's a really talented player who's not going to get a start just because the Kings don't have anywhere to put him. Every other spot's filled by a guy who's hitting the ball really well. Sestawicki running again. The pitch is high. Throw down to second is not in time. Stolen base for the Kings shortstop. 1-1 to Stikowski, trying to give the Kings another run. Still just 2 hits, but 2 runs. Williams has been great through 4. Still a close game. Krause has thrown well for the Matrix on the mound. They have action out in their bullpen. Throw behind Sestawicki at second. The throw, though, handcuffs Zampella. So Sestawicki remains in scoring position. One and one pitch to the Kings second baseman. Already 1 in on the Quinn homer here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-2. Top team in the league, Kings, trying to get to the Wolff Division Final tomorrow night. Rematch against the Generals possibly. Lead 2-0. Stikowski trying to add on. Takes just outside. It's 2-2. Runner on at second. 2 away. 2-2 pitch now to Connor Stikowski. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike 3. 2 big strikeouts for Kraus to end the frame, but not before the Kings tally another. The home run by Aiden Quinn, a solo shot over the fence in right center field, extends the lead to 2 through 4 innings of play. 2-0 South Jersey.
For the Matrix, the DH, number 28.
Now with a 2-0 lead, Corey Williams back out on the mound. 5th inning of work, 7, 8, 9 for the Matrix. That means there are 3 pitchers who are hitting tonight. And this is a chance for Williams to just throw strikes, keep the pitch count down. All 3 of these pitchers struck out pretty quickly first time through the order. Now 2-0. Already 0-1 on Polson, the DH. Breaking ball, make it 0-2. Kind of a funny story after the Kings solidified the division championship on Saturday. Ryan Jarris was like, first championship for the Kings incoming. Remember, this is their 4th season, as we told you. And then Kempler added in that the Kings, who kind of view this as a redemption tour, that it's actually the redemption tour, then that division title solidified that. 0-2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2. So these Kings feeling confident after sweeping the Generals in that doubleheader. Come all the way back, win the division. Williams gets the call on the outside corner with the fastball. Paulson set down looking to begin the 5th. And this is the thing now with the Kings. Obviously, Williams has been great. I mean, the Kings basically said as soon as they won the division, they knew that Williams was going to pitch here today. Poke to the first baseman, Teneski. Easy play for him. And Amon's down now, 2 away. Now 2 away. And for Williams, 2 easy outs. Correa struck out swinging. He's made some nice plays in the field, but struck out swinging against Williams in the 5th. Behind the count 0-1. That's the thing. If Williams just continues the trend, it's important that the guys behind him in the bullpen and in the rotation follow suit. But if this Kings pitching throws the way they have been down the stretch, then it's not just the offense that's really good. In terms of like double trouble, you have the pitching throwing really well too. It makes them all the more dangerous. 0-2 to Correa. Swings and misses. Williams breezes through the bottom of this matrix order. Has looked terrific through 5 shutout innings. 2-0 Kings. Williams has been terrific. They come back to the plate in the bottom of the 5th. Pitching change for the Matrix. First time either one of these two teams has turned to the bullpen as Chris Urbanek takes over. The lefty, 5'11", 160 pounds, rising sophomore at Chestnut Hill College from Monroe Township, New Jersey. One of the better arms for them this summer. 2-0 in 8 games, 5 games started, 22 innings pitched, 18 hits, 6 earned runs, 9 walks, 19 strikeouts, a 2.45 ERA for the lefty. Faces 9-1-2 in the Kings order, beginning with Connor Wood. And you got to commend the job Christian Kraus did. Lasted 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, only one of which was earned on the Quinn homer. As Wood goes after the first pitch, serves it into right center field. That ball is down, and then Amon has some difficulties with it in right field. Wood, the big turn, will then retreat to first. The throw there is not going to be in time. I mean, Amon, again, the pitcher in right field who had that air back in the first inning, which allowed a run to score. Looked like he overran that ball, but then made a nice throw to second. And Wood was about halfway between the two bags, able to get back to first, so he's on with the leadoff single. Lefty on lefty now as the Kings looking to extend their lead. Again, to finish up on that thought, Kraus did what he needed to do. Only 1 earned run, and that's what you have to do, is you have to keep the Matrix in this game as closely as you can against Williams. Easier said than done against this order, but the pitching had to do their best. The strong suit of this Matrix team. Now, these two squads know that they're playing the Generals tomorrow, but still have to take care of business tonight, as it is 2-1 on Eric Hartman. 0 for 2 tonight at the top of the Kings order. Technically finished as the leader in the Kings in batting, but went to Charvallo since he had more at-bats. Hartman missed the beginning part of the season due to playing at Ryder. That one misses. It's 3-1 on Hartman. Charvallo waits on deck. And Matrix have a lot of really good pitchers, including Urbanek. 3-1 with Wood on at first after the leadoff single. That one way outside, and Hartman draws the walk. First 2 base runners reach here in the 5th. Brings up Charvallo in a dangerous spot. It was announced that Charvallo was the MVP, and they rattled off all the categories he led the league in. Zane Teneski was just like, that is actually crazy that you could lead the league in that many different categories. First pitch to him. To the backstop over the head of Piotrowski. Wood to third, Hartman to second. And Charvallo, to his credit, just responded, let's just get a championship. That's what he said. And credit to him, a guy who did that well, but still his ultimate goal is to win this ACBL title after a great regular season the Kings had. Infield in for the Matrix, down by 2. 2 in scoring position, a big swing and a miss from Charvallo. Kings head coach Miles Taylor chiming in that he's obviously with that and what Charvallo said, but he said as a family, so they're going to support Charvallo and acknowledge that he is legit, as he put it, and had just a remarkable season. And Ryan Mullock let Charvallo know that Lehigh is still over Bucknell. 1-2 on him here. 2 in scoring position, no one out here in the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss. Urbanek going to the breaking pitch, tying up Charvallo, and he takes care of a key man there. The MVP down swinging, still not out of trouble by any stretch, as now here's Ryan Jaros. Reached on the air and then grounded out his last time up. Wood at third, Hartman at second. First pitch misses. 2 runs would definitely be big for the Kings here. Even the way Williams has been throwing will likely not go all 9 innings, obviously, so going to feel comfortable with some extra runs, as it's 1-1 on Ryan Jaros. The league has just not had an answer for this Kings team, but offense in particular. The Matrix trying to quiet these bats as Jaros asks for time. And that's the question, how do you beat them? You can try and shut them down offensively, but it's going to take one heck of a pitcher to do that, and then the Kings pitching has responded themselves. That one's in there for a called strike, too. Kings trying to at least put a ball in play here. Got the first two runners on with the heart of their order up. Urbanic taking his time here. 1-2. Lace just foul down the third base line. And you do have Tedeschi on deck. One and two on Jaros with two in scoring position. That pitch ducking inside and actually got a piece of Ryan Jaros. Half-hearted swing as that breaking ball kept on moving inside. Gets a piece of Jaros to put him on with still one away, and now here's Tedeschi. Tough break for Urbanic, who had the count in his favorite 1-2 on Jaros, but now the bases are loaded for the Kings cleanup man, Tedeschi. Was consistent player in terms of his spot in the order. Struggled initially, then really got going. A solid season for him. Really good protection for the hitters in front of him. That's what he's provided. Just so intimidating for pitchers to stare in and face him, you got to think. I mean, a guy at 6'1", 230 pounds, incoming freshman at St. John's, just a large, intimidating force in the box. Probably part of the reason why he drew 26 walks this past season. 2-1 on him. Part of the reason why he maybe didn't drive as many runs is because pitchers are not throwing as many strikes to him. They know how good of a bat he has and how intimidating he is. It's just 2-1 pitch, a high pop-up, but that will drift out of play off of the top of the Matrix first base dugout. But you figure Tedeschi's gotten two pitches to swing at here. You figure with the bases loaded, he'll get some pitches in the strike zone, nowhere to put him. And you have Quinn on deck, a guy who took Krause deep last inning. The 2-2 now to Tedeschi. Little half-hearted swing and he gets a piece of it. And the top-rated first baseman in his class in the state of New Jersey by perfect game. Cleanup hitter for the Kings all season long. Trying to drive in some runs, 2-2 again. It's fouled straight back.
Somebody tied up the fence. Oh, you noticed? Starting pitchers come and go. Fences get tied up. Who can pay attention?
What's already been a stressful inning in his first inning of work for Urbanic. A guy who can probably give the Matrix some depth out there on the mound since he is accustomed to starting. They're going to need it, too. Another 2-2. In on the hands, a little bloop shot. Coming over to make the catch is Nitti. A huge out there as Tedeschi set down, doesn't drive anyone in, and the bases remain loaded now for Quinn. Huge out there, and you have Quinn, who did just have that home run in the fourth to make it 2-0, but now you have lefty on lefty. Bases remain loaded, 2 outs. First pitch to Quinn, breaking pitch on the outside corner, 0-1. Looking to drive in at least a pair here. 0-1, make it 0-2, another breaking pitch. It's been great to have Quinn as a lefty in the middle part of this Kings lineup. Behind on the count, 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Takes this time, misses the zone, and it's 1-2. We saw a lot of DH, but has looked great at third base in the appearances he's gotten there. 1-2. Behind on that one. Good piece of contact. Remains 1-2. He and Hartman, the two lefties in this order for the Kings. Bases still loaded. Kings looking to cash in. Quinn slings, lifts a high fly ball deep to right field. Morano hustling back, then yielding to Amon, who will make the catch. So Quinn drives it out to right once again. This time, though, not enough on it, as Amon gloves it, and the Kings leave the bases loaded. Urbanic pitching into and out of trouble. Kings load the bases with one away, but can't bring any home. So through 5 innings of play now, it's 2-0 South Jersey.
Number 4, Mike Villani.
2-0 Kings through 5 innings. Top of the order, facing Corey Williams back out there. Matt Villani, the leadoff man. Grounded to second base on the first pitch. Stakowski right there. 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the 6th. Well, we knew all along that there was a very good chance that Corey Williams was going to go deep into this ball game and had the potential to be as dominating as he has been. We thought maybe there was a chance the offense was just as good, and they've given him 2 runs, but the story by far has been how good Williams has been through 5 in the 3rd now. Just the 2 hits, both by Zampella. Nothing else really doing for the Matrix, whose pitching has responded, and the Kings are glad Williams has been as sharp as he has been because, again, they've only scored the 2 runs. The league has just not had an answer for this South Jersey team. Winners of 21 of 23 down the stretch. The interesting thing about this Matrix squad is almost similar to the Bergen Metros, who dropped the game to the Generals a little while ago, is that they actually have their fair share of returning players from last summer. Not as many as the Metros, who won the league title and will not repeat as champions, as the Generals knocked them out a few hours ago. 0-2 now to Morano. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike 3. Well, coming into the inning, Williams had thrown 68 pitches, had struck out 8. And there's strikeout number 9, and there's 2 away here in the 6th. And anything Williams can do to limit the work that the Kings bullpen needs to do will go a long way. This is the only guy he's kind of struggled with tonight, Zampella, who doubled in the 1st, singled in the 4th. Really consistent force at the top of this Matrix order throughout the season. 2-0 the count to him. Williams, the true ace for this King squad. 2-0 pitch. Smart decision to Musa tonight but it is just a shame if the Kings hold on tonight that we will not be able to see him pitch against Tristan Spaltern, which would have been a really good pitching matchup, Kings Generals, tomorrow, if that is what holds up. Grounded down the third baseline, it rolls foul. Williams trying to post a 3-up, 3-down inning against the top of the matrix order. It's 2-2 on Zampella. Here comes the pitch. Another grounder foul down the third baseline. We'll see who the Kings might turn to after Williams, but we'll see how much longer he does go. Trying to make it 6 shutout innings. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Retires Zampella on the high fastball now through 6 shutout innings. Corey Williams has the Kings in good shape here tonight, trying to book their ticket to the Wolff Division Final. Through 5.5, it's 2-0 South Jersey. Bottom of the 6th now. Sestawicki begins the frame against Urbanik by swinging at the first pitch and fouling it straight back. Walked his last time in the 4th, 6-7-8 for the Kings. Sestawicki's been a really consistent player for the Kings this summer. It's felt like he hasn't really missed a game at shortstop. And where we've seen a lot of different players filling at second and third for the Kings, that hasn't been the case at shortstop. That position's been occupied by pretty much solely Sestawicki all summer long. The bat's come and gone, but the defense has been there consistently all summer. Peel to first on the check swing and make it 2-1 the count to the Kings shortstop. Goes after that one. Produces a fly ball into center. Morano takes a few steps in and makes the catch. So here's Wellwander, who has struck out looking and swinging through 2 at-bats so far tonight. I haven't seen Lombardi, the only catcher we haven't seen tonight for the Kings. As that one is hit hard but foul. You wonder if one of these catchers doesn't emerge as the clear-cut favorite. Do the Kings continue to play all 3 throughout the postseason? Wood's been the best statistical hitter. He does have a hit tonight. but is there one the Kings favor over the other? Wood hasn't appeared in as many games as Lombardi and Whalewander have. 1-1 the count to the Kings catcher. He takes a called strike two. It has been mostly Lombardi and Whalewander splitting the appearances. Wood is a handful of them, as Whalewander asked for time. Wood played in 13 games for the Kings, fewer than Whalewander and Lombardi. 1-2 pitches outside. But again, he's swinging the hottest bat. The catcher's been the only position where the Kings don't have hitters been nothing really short of exceptional. That one just missing. Full count now on Whalewander. Not that they haven't gotten good defense and some decent hitting, but every other position's really just been terrific for the Kings this summer. Full count pitch with one away. And Whalewander sends it out of play down the first baseline. Another full count pitch from Urbanek. Once again, Whalewander gets a piece of it. Full count again. And Whalewander pops it up. Maybe a chance for Piotrowski behind the plate. Has room. Bobbled it initially, but then able to make the catch. So Whalewander retired after the pop out in foul territory, and there's two away.
Number 12, second baseman.
And the winner here tonight advances to play the Generals tomorrow night. If the Kings win, they will be the home team tomorrow as the top seed. If the Matrix win, the Generals would be the home team. Then the winner of that game faces the winner of the Kaiser Division Championship on Saturday. Hit on the hands, a shallow fly ball into right field. Amon coming on. Did he make the catch? He sure did. Had the air back in the first inning, but now kind of a shoestring catch, charging all the way in right field. Urbanek tips his cap. Stokowski robbed of a hit. Some pitchers in the outfield flashing the leather tonight for the Matrix. Preserves the 2-0 game through 6 innings of play so far. Game 2 of the Wolff Division semifinal. It is 2-0 Kings. Corey Williams back out there for the top of the 7th. Will face Luke Bakunis, Jordan Nitty, Sean Piotrowski, 4-5-6 for the Matrix. Williams enters with 77 pitches, 55 of which have been for strikes. And he's posted the 10 strikeouts through 6 innings of work. Allowed just 2 hits. 6 shutout innings for the big right-hander. And what could be his final inning of work. And the fact that the Kings only have to figure out who's going to pitch the last 2 innings is just an ideal scenario for them. 7 shutout innings from Williams would be great. You save as many pitchers as possible for tomorrow's game against the Generals if they can hang on tonight. The only thing you would wish to change about the game so far is that ideally you'd like a bigger cushion, even if that's just 2 runs. 2 or 3 runs would go a long way to sealing it. It's 1-2 on Bakunis. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 11 punch-outs for Williams now. He has looked terrific. Be a little surprised if the Kings won this game mostly on the back of their pitching. It's been the opposite of what has kind of carried them this season. But as we said, down the stretch, the pitching for the Kings has been really good. Nitty just kind of checks his swing and puts it in play. That's a fair ball, and Nitty didn't even attempt to run down the first baseline. And that ball almost was going to hit him. Nitty the check swing. The ball found his bat. The weak dribbler back to Williams. It was ruled a fair ball. Williams made the play, and so there's 2 away. Interesting to see Nitty not even run. Yeah, he never really had a chance, but just walked right back to the dugout as Piotrowski takes a called strike 1. Williams has just been so dominant tonight. That one misses the zone. It's 1-1 on Piotrowski. 0 for 2 tonight. A strikeout and a flyout for the Matrix catcher. 1-1. And the championship game for the ACBL will be at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park up in Staten Island, New York. 2-1 pitch here. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Stadium that Wagner College plays a lot of their games at, and the Staten Island Ferry Hawks as well as part of the Atlantic League. 2-2, 2 away. Williams looking for the punch out, the pitch. Piotrowski gets a piece of it. That park also hosted the Staten Island Yankees for 19 seasons up until the COVID year. Another 2-2 pitch from Williams. Breaking ball inside. The site hosted last year's ACBL championship, again won by the Bergen Metros, who were knocked out by the Generals here tonight. We'll do it on a 3-2 now. Williams looking for the K, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Corey Williams threw 7 shutout innings. He struck out 12. What a performance from the big right-hander. Absolutely dominant. The Kings ace propelling them out in front here. 7 shutout innings through 6.5 now. 2-0 South Jersey trying to close in on a first-round playoff win here tonight. We're now playing in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Wolff Division semifinal game number 2. Corey Miller back here with you at Moody Park. 2-0 the Kings lead. An early run in the first inning on the RBI ground up by Teneski. In large part, there was an error in that inning as well as Wood attacks the first pitch of the inning. Fly ball into left. And it's Correa making the catch. Then Aiden Quinn, the solo shot in the 4th inning. 2 runs for the Kings, but the story's been the dominant outing from Corey Williams. The 7 shutout innings allowed just 2 hits. Both belong to Zampella, the Matrix shortstop. But Williams has been dominant. Kings looking for some insurance runs here, though. It's the top of the order. Eric Hartman taking a called strike 1. He struck out, popped out, and walked in 3 plate appearances tonight. A roller to second base. Villano throws out Hartman. And now it brings up Charavallo. 1 for 3, the infield single run in the first. Struck out his last time swinging. And that was a big missed opportunity for the Kings in that 6th inning. They loaded the bases with 1 out. Charavallo was the first out in the inning, and then Teneski and Quinn couldn't come through with the bases loaded. Popped into foul territory down the first baseline, out of play with the Matrix in pursuit. Question is, can the pitchers adjust to what Charavallo did in the regular season? Hasn't been quite as hot down the stretch as he was throughout the most of the campaign, but still pretty hot, finishing at 421. The 0-1 pitch. You got to figure most of the pitchers in the league know that he's been a really good player. We'll see how aggressive they decide to be with him now in the playoffs in these one-game series. 0-2, 2 away. Urbanek looking for a 3-up and 3-down inning. The pitch stays high. Interesting to see how much playing time Charavallo is going to get his freshman year at Bucknell. Guy looks this good. Could be in store for a decent amount, but got a whole new team, new situation. But it showed no difficulties hitting off of college players with experience this past summer. 2-2. Line shot into left field, and a 2-out base hit for Charavallo, his 2nd of the night. Not trying to do too much with 2 strikes and keeps the inning alive. Speed threat on base, and here's Ryan Jaros.
Number 38, left fielder, Ryan Jaros.
Sit by pitch his last at bat, looking for his first hit of the night. We'll see how aggressive the Kings elect to be. There's a good sign. Charavallo off and running. The throw skips in there. Close play at second, but a stolen base for Charavallo, his first of the playoffs. Stole 20 of them during the regular season. Base hit would likely score him here as it's 1-0 on Jaros. Urbanek looks Charavallo back. The 1-seed Kings topping the 4-seeded Matrix, trying to set up another game versus the Generals tomorrow. Pitch to Jaros is fouled away. The Generals, for their part, definitely want another shot at this Kings squad, who upset them, dethroned them the last game of the regular season to win the division. Should be a really good matchup. 1 versus the 2 seed for the Wolff Division Championship. A check swing, foul ball. The Kings would probably welcome a rematch again, but they'd have to defend their title. They won the regular season division title, but now they have to win it outright as a league title. Going to be easier said than done against the Generals ace tomorrow. Got to take care of business tonight here, though, too. 2-2 pitch to Jaros. Doesn't sniff the zone. It's a full count to him. And it's Taneski waiting on deck. Just 2 runs tonight for this Kings lineup, but they face some talented matrix pitching. 2-2, 3-2 that is. Line drive down the left field line. That's a fair ball into the corner. It'll roll all the way to the wall. Charvello jogs home from second. Jaros replaces him there with an RBI double. Kings get an insurance run. It's 3-0 here in the 7th.
You guys made a summer for those kids.
Yeah, we had fun. Christ, we played 20-some games, 24
Yeah, I know.
games.
And then the tournament itself is also really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Huge hit for Jaros. That insurance run, a welcome sight. Even the way Williams has been pitching, last inning could have been his last. And even though this matrix squad doesn't possess the best offense, 2 runs just would make things interesting if they got some base runners. That ball hit really hard from Jaros. Once it landed in fair play, skipped off the grass and rolled all the way into the corner. Charvallo easily jogging home from second. That's what Jaros has done so well in that 3rd spot in the order, driving in runs. And the guys ahead of him have done just such a good job in getting on base for him. And now Taneski. 0 for 3 tonight for the Kings cleanup man. 1-1 the count to him, with 2 away. Bottom of the 7th. Takes high. We'll see if this lineup changes at all tomorrow if the Kings win tonight. You imagine the 1 through 4 spots probably won't, as they haven't as of late for South Jersey. Taneski watches that one miss the zone. It's a 3-1 count to him. On deck is Aiden Quinn. Taneski, very patient hitter, great plate discipline up there. Pitch to him is way outside, and he draws his first walk of the playoffs. Another base runner on for the Kings. Lefty-lefty matchup. Last time with the bases loaded, Urbanek got Quinn to fly out to right.
Third baseman, Aiden Quinn.
Matrix have some pitchers standing out in the bullpen. Not sure if they've already gotten loose or if they're about to get loose, but right now it's Urbanek still out there on the mound. Already a run in here in the 7th, but he's been pretty good in relief. The 3 runs allowed by this Matrix pitching staff, 2 have been earned. 1 run in the 1st, not charged to Krause's stat line. 1-0 pitch to Quinn. Can't find the zone there, it's 2-0. Jaros good speed at second. Base hit could likely score him here. Quinn had that solo shot over the right center field fence back in the 4th. Hitters count 2-0. Grounds it to second base. Villani will end the inning by throwing Quinn out at first, but the Kings get an insurance run. Jaros, the RBI double, makes it 3-0 South Jersey, 6 outs away from advancing. We'll be back with the top of the 8th inning after a quick break.
Number 28, Ryan Polson.
Corey Williams back out there. 88 pitches through 7 shutout innings. 2 hits, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts. Some may be surprised he's still out there with the pitch count, but when you look at who's hitting for the Matrix, it probably makes pretty good sense. 7, 8, 9, all 3 of which are more so pitchers. A weak liner into left. In comes Jaros, and he makes a nice sliding catch. The third baseman by Trey looking good out there, and Polson's retired. So you got 3 guys who've been basically easy outs, almost guaranteed outs for Williams on the mound. So why not throw him back out there for the 8th inning? Because these pitchers, again, they're not accustomed to hitting, and they're facing a really good pitcher. But Polson, Amon, and Correa have looked basically lost up at the plate. They struck out a combined 4 times tonight, and they're a combined 0 for 7. It's quickly 0-2 on Amon. Pitch from Williams. Outside, and the fact that he could maybe go 8 shutout innings, it's just so big for the Kings. They'd only have to fill 1 inning out of the bullpen with a 3-0 lead now. 1-2. Slap foul. Yeah, imagine the message to Williams is just pound the strike zone. Shouldn't have any difficulty, too much so, against the bottom 3 hitters right now for the Matrix. Breaking pitch and a beauty. Strikeout number 13 for Corey Williams.
Number 25, left fielder Joe Correa.
Yep, and even with the higher pitch count, give him the ability to just fire strikes against these hitters. He's not going to put too many guys on, really. Correa behind in the count 0-1. We will almost definitely see a new pitcher for the top of the 9th for the Kings. We just wonder who that might be. A lot of options for him, 0-1, with basically all their pitchers being available, regardless of whether they're typically starters or relievers. They only need to get 3 outs after Williams is trying to get through 8 shutout innings tonight. Kings ace is doing everything in his power to get them to the Wolff Division final tomorrow night. 2-1 on Carrera. 2 strikeouts for him tonight. He's made some nice plays in left field. 2-1, and it's 2-2. Williams a strike away from getting through 8 shutout innings. So dominant tonight. Looking for strikeout number 14. The big right-hander kicks and deals. In there for a called strike 3. Absolute brilliance. Corey Williams, 8 shutout innings, 14 strikeouts, putting the Kings on his back tonight. They're 3 outs away, coming back to the plate in the bottom of the 8th. They can taste a Wolff Division final against the Generals tomorrow night. We'll be back for the last of the 8th.
6. Andrew Lombardi.
Some changes for both squads as we begin the bottom of the 8th. Andrew Lombardi pinch hitting for Justin Sestwicky, but also taking over on the mound is Tyler Tilton. First pitch to Lombardi. Popped up down the third base line. Zampella all the way over from his shortstop position. And he will make the catch for the first out. So Tilton takes over, rising sophomore at Siena College. 1-0 this summer, 8 games, 3 games started, 20 innings pitched, 24 hits, 7 walks, 13 strikeouts, 5 earned runs, just a 2.25 ERA. Another really good arm for the Matrix. Whalewander swinging at the first pitch, a foul ball. We'll see if this gets out of play. It does. But Tilton, one of the other Division I arms, along with Correa, who we've seen but not on the mound. Hasn't pitched in a long time as Joseph Correa. But the Division I guys, arms of Correa and Tilton, doing what they needed to do for the Matrix. 2 guys who preceded Tilton were not Division I guys, but really good pitchers this summer, and they did what they needed to do. 3 runs, 2 earned, and yeah, they're in line for the loss, but against this Kings lineup, 3 runs is not bad, and they needed their hitters to have a chance. They still do in the top of the 9th, but Corey Williams has just shut the Matrix down offensively. But their pitching staff has given them at least a chance, as it's 1-2 on Whalewander. An interesting decision to pinch hit for Sestwicky. And not Whalewander's the catcher, is Lombardi, who pinch hit, is a catcher. We haven't seen him play anywhere else. 2-2 pitch to Whalewander. That pitch is smoked into left field. In pursuit is Correa. He won't get there as it rolls all the way to the wall. Whalewander flying into second base. He's there as the throw comes all the way to first. It's a booming double from Owen Whalewander. Runner in scoring position for the Kings just like that.
Number 12, second baseman.
So Stokowski has an RBI situation, and good to see Whalewander just tattoo a ball. Something we've known he's capable of. Struggled a little bit, as we said, this summer, but in scoring position there. And back to the Sestwicky move in a minute after this first pitch. A corresponding move you think the Kings are going to have to make defensively. As we said, Lombardi not a shortstop. Maybe Menino comes in, Frontera maybe. But interesting to see the Kings remove a guy from the team defensively who's been a fixture at the shortstop spot in Sestwicky, and no reason to really take him out of the game other than the fact that you just want to get Lombardi in that bat, but that could be the case. Sestwicky had been 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Interesting move, though, from the Kings. We'll see who might replace Sestwicky at that shortstop spot. They love another run here, though, if Stokowski can come through. After the big double by Whalewander. Pitch is fouled off. It's 2-2. Stokowski offers the Kings lots of value at the bottom of the order. Base hit threat. Guy who on another team would be hitting at the top of the order, but hitting 8th here with all the talent ahead of him. It's 2-2 the count on him with 1 away. Runner in scoring position off the new pitcher, Tilton. He delivers. And Stokowski fouls it off. Corey Williams finished that 8th inning at pitch number 100. Hitting triple digits, striking out Correa. What an outing by the right-hander for the Kings. 8 shutout innings. Propelling his team to a possible Wolff Division Championship appearance tomorrow. Another pitch to Stokowski's grounded to shortstop. Zampella gobbles it up, fires across a little low. Great pick and stretch at first base, though, by Bakunis. And now there's 2 away. Moving to third is Whalewander. So Connor Wood, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Chance to drive in fellow catcher Whalewander and give the Kings another insurance run here in the 8th. Again, facing Tilton on the mound. One of several talented Matrix pitchers. As we said, playing at Siena, his father Actually played at Siena as well as a 5th-round pick by the Philadelphia Phillies in 1996. Returns to the Matrix after a rough summer last year. 9.82 ERA. He's been much better this summer, though. Same can be said for most of their guys who've returned. As we said, a lot. Not as many as the Metros, but still a lot. As Tilden gets ahead on Connor Wood. Trying to strand Whalewander on after that big double. Kings looking for another run, though, as it's high to Connor Wood. Likely see a new Kings pitcher in the ninth. Just wonder who that might be. Trying to close things out as they look for another run. 1-2 now to Wood. Grounded to third base. There is Nitti. And will make the play at first base for out number 3. So Whalewander gets into scoring position with the double, but Kings can't bring him home. However, they are 3 outs away from advancing to tomorrow's Wolff Division Final. Matrix down to their final 3 outs. We'll be back for the top of the ninth. Kings are 3 outs away from advancing to tomorrow's Wolff Division Championship against the Generals. Have to retire the top of the Matrix order first. A few changes for them defensively. So Lombardi moves out to left as he pinch hit for Sestawicki. That moves Jaros to second and Stakowski to shortstop. So again, Connor Stakowski moves from second to short. Jaros in from left field. Again, he's an infielder by trade. Probably the tallest second baseman you've ever seen. Takes over there, and you do have the catcher by trade Lombardi out in left field. And Ryan Mullock, 6 foot, 200-pound rising sophomore right-hander at Lehigh University from Sea City, New Jersey. Trying to close things out. First pitch, comebacker right back to him. Going to be a tough play. Throw to first is in time to retire Villani. Great throw by Mullock. 1 pitch, 1 out. Kings are 2 outs away. Mullock, a talented D1 arm, has struggled a bit this summer. 1-2 in 7 games, 2 starts, 14 innings pitched, 17 hits, 7 walks, 12 Ks, and 8 earned runs, a 5.14 ERA. A guy with appearances as a starter and as a reliever. As a reliever and a starter, we've had some really good appearances, some not so good. He's thrown shutouts 3 times, but also a couple appearances with 3 earned runs. 1-1 on Marano, who's 0 for 3, but good choice to close out the game. Division I guy who appeared in 3 games for the Mountain Hawks this past spring. High chopper to short. Stikowski charges, fires to first. All for the glove of Teneski. Going to be a base hit. Teneski really had to stretch at first as that throw was pulling him down the first baseline. Tough play for Stikowski. Marano on with an infield single. And first time those defensive changes have been tested as Sestawicki's out of the game. And now you have Zampella, who's easily been the Matrix best hitter tonight. Had their only 2 hits up to that point, and an infield single by Marano. But Zampella 2 for 3 off of Corey Williams. Mullock trying to finish what Williams started after throwing 100 pitches, throwing 8 shutout innings. Trying to preserve the Kings shutout and book their ticket to the Wolff Division Championship tomorrow at 6:30 right here at Moody Park. Mullock last pitch on the 21st against the Ospreys threw a shutout inning. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. What was one of his sharper outings of the summer. 1-1 to Zampella. A weak bouncer to second. Jaros is there, stays down on it. Will go to first. That was really the only play available. And the Kings are 1 out away. So now it's Luke Bakunis. Marano down to second base with 2 away here in the 9th. 3-0 Kings. Wolff Division semifinal game number 2. Generals took care of business over the Metros a few hours ago. That one just missing. It's 1-0. Kings looking to make it a Generals-Kings rematch. It should be a great game tomorrow. Winner will move on to the ACBL championship. It's 1-1 on Bakunis. Again, the great story for the Kings. Started off 1-8 this summer, then won 21 of their next 23 games. Swept the Generals in the doubleheader on the last game of regular season action to become the winner of the Wolff Division, the number 1 seed in the playoffs. The 1-1. Trying to solidify their spot as Wolff Division champs, ultimately ACBL champs. Have to take care of the first step here tonight. 1-2 on Bakunis. They're 1 strike away, 2 away. The pitch from Mullock. Shot to shortstop, caught by Stikowski for out number 3, sealing the Kings' victory 3-0 here in Ewing. Mullock comes in and slams the door shut after 8 shutout innings by Corey Williams. Some timely hitting from the Kings gives them the victory. But again, the story was their starter, Corey Williams, 100 pitches, 8 shutout innings, absolutely dominant. And the Kings book their ticket to tomorrow's Wolff Division Championship against the Trenton Generals. A great afternoon and evening of baseball as we first saw the Generals top the Metros, followed by a Kings victory against the Matrix. Some great baseball again. Tune in tomorrow at 6:30 as we will return with coverage. The Kings and Generals will do battle for the Wolff Division, Wolff Conference Championship, trying to book their spot to the ACBL Championship on Saturday in what should be a terrific night of action. Again, catch all the action here on our YouTube channel. Be coming live from you from Moody Park again tomorrow night at 6:30. Kings hosting the Generals. Until then, that'll wrap it up for us here tonight. For Jack Kemmler and Corey Miller, we want to thank you for tuning in, and we're saying good night from Ewing.